Hi guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today I will be doing my part 2 of the Rust Belt analysis for 2020 series. Can Trump hold the state of Wisconsin or will it flip back? Now, I've long said that the state of Wisconsin is probably the most likely of the three states that Trump picked off from the Democrats to stay with him in 2020. But we have a map to analyze and look and see exactly what happens. First of all, I'll get to the exit polls in a minute, but I just want to show you guys this map. It's really interesting how this is the county map from 2008, and this is the county map in 2016. I believe McCain only won like 7 or 8 counties in the state of Wisconsin. Obama did really well, especially in these relatively farm areas. He was getting over 60% of the vote in some of these counties, and Trump was able to get over 70, even almost 80% in some of these counties that Obama won in 2008. And yes, they did get closer in 2012, but this is a huge transformation. The farm vote in all these places, they really came out for Donald Trump in 2016, and it really improves his chances of taking the state in 2020 if trends persist. As of right now, it doesn't look like the Democrats have anybody that could change back the map to look anything like this, and obviously the map wouldn't. But of course, a lot of these narrowly red counties, I think you could make a case they could flip back if they have a good candidate for 2020. But do they? I mean, I really don't know. But we could start by looking at the exit polls for 2016 and comparing them to the exit polls for 2018. I'm choosing the governor's race because the Senate race is not exactly as fair of a national environment. It does seem like Tammy Baldwin was relatively popular even among Trump voters, and a lot of the voters didn't really know who Leah Vuckmer was. Trump didn't really campaign a lot for her, et cetera, et cetera. And Scott Walker is not necessarily a fair comparison either, because Walker had, his economic progress was stagnating, and Evers campaigned as a moderate, even though he really hasn't led like one so far. But we will compare the exit polls. So obviously, first we got to look at race. 86% of the electorate was white. A lot of that was non-college white voters in rural areas. Now, that's a big bonus for Donald Trump. The white vote in Wisconsin did go for Obama in 2008. Trump was able to win it at least by 11 here as well. If you look at the 2018 exit polling map, the map is probably skewed in a way. It doesn't seem like turnout was much higher among minorities to make that big of a difference. The state is still 85, 86% white, so I'm guessing that it was a sampling error in terms of the exit polling data. And you can see this by a little bit of an unusually large percentage of black voters voted for Scott Walker over Tony Evers, compared to 2016, where only 6% of black voters in Wisconsin voted for Trump. I'm guessing that the number was somewhere around 11%, and it was just a polling error on CNN's behalf. But other than that, that's how I would analyze that. Another error you're going to see here is white non-college. I believe they included the white college graduates here. I believe they included associate degree holders in this category. A lot of these people in this category could come from places like Madison, Wisconsin, and other places. In like a couple of like the Milwaukee suburbs in Milwaukee County. Maybe Racine to a lesser extent. But as you can see here, the polling data wasn't that, but it was about 7% off. Probably even more than that, because of the fact that the midterms are usually usually more educated. Less educated voters tend not to turn out as much. But as you can see from this as well, whites without a degree, it could be a calculation error, but that went down to 58 to 41. Trump won 62. So Trump won this demographic by around 30 points. Walker could have almost won it by 20. But apparently, if you look at it here, it seems like Trump will probably do better. There's a lot of Trump voters that probably voted for Tony Evers or stayed home in 2018, and we can get to that as well. But if you go down to party ID here as well, Democrats beat Republicans in 2016 by 1. They tied that could easily be a sampling error as well. Independent voters, though, preferred Trump by 10 points over Hillary. Now, they preferred Evers by 7. It could just be that independent voters wanted to change there too. Trump has to win the independent vote to win Wisconsin. It seems like the party ID is relatively level. He's probably going to do better among some Democrats, maybe some Union Democrats who might vote Dem at a state level. Exactly what Scott Walker did here. Don't let the pundits fool you. A lot of union voters do support right to work, which was what Walker was got into some controversy about that as well. Down there. Now, union household, again, you could look at this as well. A union household, it should be down here somewhere. Yeah, so Trump lost union households by 10 points. Apparently, Scott Walker lost them by 14. So apparently Trump isn't running too far behind there. He's going to have to do well among those voters. It's possible he will if you look at things like blue-collar wages, if he can really make his case, and especially if the Democratic candidate wants to push something like the Green New Deal, which the AFL-CIO said they wouldn't support the candidate that would do that. Well, that could help Trump among union voters as well. That's key for Wisconsin when, 21% are in a union. That's not as, I don't think that's as many as a place like Michigan, but it is definitely more than other places like Florida, so that's interesting to look at as well. Another key thing here in 2016, you got to look at Trump's approval. Definitely somewhere in here. Sure, Obama was over 50% in approval. He was relatively popular in the country before. A lot of presidents are after the end of 2 terms. They're going to have more favorability than disapprove, but Trump was below 30 points underwater in Wisconsin when he won the state. Now, Hillary was 14 points, but Trump was almost 30 points underwater, 29% underwater. Now, people that hated both candidates voted for Trump by a very wide margin as well, so you can blame that on that. But as you look in this, Trump's approval should be in here somewhere. Yes, 48%. Now he's just -4. He's gained in net approval 25 points since he's been elected. Now that's a good thing, especially because Scott Walker was just 1 point over as well, and Tony Evers, and a lot of the people that wanted both candidates just were looking for a change. You saw a lot more Democratic voters turn out. It was a Democratic skewed electorate. It shows that even in the 2018 environment, it's possible that Trump is not far behind in the state of Wisconsin like a lot of people make it out to be. You can't trust these exit polls, or you can't trust these polls that come out of places such as Morning Consult and the Civics and on their maps, because they don't get a full sample aligned of that state. Sure, it might look like Trump's approval is better in certain states where it's really worse as well, but in the Rust Belt, Trump appears to be roughly around 5 points underwater in Wisconsin, which is a lot better than he was in 2016. I can't see a candidate being above 48% favorability in this crazy environment. Release all the dirt on Joe Biden. Joe Biden's already -4 nationally. If that's the case, he's probably -6 in a place like Wisconsin. Trump already would get the upper hand in the state as well. Other than that, look at the condition of the national economy. This is another big thing, a very big thing here. Condition of the national economy. Only 38% said it was good when Trump got elected. Now almost 70% say it's good. So it really appears that the people that say that the economy is now good, they're the ones that are voting. I feel like that alone could get Trump to definitely turn out voters, especially if you look at the size of his rallies in places like Green Bay, where there's not that many people there, but he still turned out almost as many people as a Packers game in Green Bay. And we know how much Green Bay loves the Packers. Effective is another thing, effective of Trump's trade policies on the local economy. Here is where I've said it probably would not be beneficial. 34% say it hurt. That's more than places like Michigan and Pennsylvania. A lot of that could have been from the farmers. But again, Pullout Farm Journal said Trump's support among farmers is relatively unchanged. And still there's some people that said it hurt, but still would go for a Republican candidate as well. So, and again, 60% say it either helped or had no impact. So, I mean, there's that as well. I guess it's all relative how you look at it. Affect a new tax law. Again, you see the same thing. Apparently, this could definitely favor Republicans, even though the taxes were cut larger for higher income brackets. Middle class Americans saw tax cuts of $2,000, $3,000. That's a promise that Trump made that he kept. Again, you see with the Russia investigation, more people here say it's politically motivated, and this is a Democratic skewed electorate. Now, here we go for the biggest thing of all, area type. Now, rural areas, 27%. Apparently, rural areas apparently turned out more, which I don't agree with this necessarily. I guess some of them could be just adjusting the facts in certain areas, but again, suburban areas, Walker apparently did roughly a little better than Trump. And Trump, I think, has reached out to that establishmentarian wing more often through his conservative policies. A lot of people didn't trust him, but with the party behind him from day one, that's only going to help him, especially in a place like Wisconsin where you have the anti-establishmentarian Republicans and you have the establishmentarian Republicans at odds with each other. So I definitely think that's a big thing as well. So you got to look into that as well, for sure. Now, of course, here you can look at the 2016 map and we'll compare the county results for 2018. Apparently, the driftless area, which is down here in this part of the state, well, that is for Senate. We're trying to look at the governor race here. Yeah, it's still, the driftless area still voted in a few of these counties that went for Donald Trump narrowly. They flipped. Sauk County, for example, is one of them that trended red. That could flip in 2020 even if Trump does win the state, but Evers won it by 11 points. Again, you look at this part of the state. Definitely Madison, Trump's going to be underwater. Milwaukee, but a key county is Racine County, which is a county that went for Obama significantly twice. This went for Donald Trump by 4. It did go for Walker by 5 points. That's big. Obviously, Trump won Kenosha, which Walker lost, kind of a bellwether in the state. Trump won it narrowly. I think Trump will win it by a larger margin given for the manufacturing jobs he brought back, especially in terms of the Foxconn. And you got to look at here, the Milwaukee suburbs. These are the Milwaukee suburbs, which relatively always lean Republican by a wide margin. Waukesha County. Trump underperformed both McCain and Romney here. He's definitely got to make up ground. I think he will. Walker got 67% of the vote there, and Trump only got 60%. I really do think that the establishment Republicans are going to come, like the Ben Shapiro types, are going to come out for Trump more often this time around, and I think that these 3 counties, you're going to see more turnout in favor of the Republicans in terms of the WOW counties, the WOW, Washington, Ozaukee, and Waukesha. A lot of votes in these counties. There are suburbs of Milwaukee. This is where the Republican base needs to turn out, and Trump won relatively with a low turnout from those counties. So he's got to make sure the margins in these parts of the states. Where does he got to do to win? Go campaign in Eau Claire. See if he can do better up in this. And you got these counties. They'll definitely be the people coming to the rally as well and raise enthusiasm, of course. Definitely another thing in terms of trends. You could see if Trump can manage to get his margins in these counties greater in 2020, which is possible. This is why I'm saying he could win the state by 3 to 5 points. Don't be alarmed, even if the polls say he's losing. Look at Iowa County, Wisconsin here. Greene County. Greene County that's where Monroe is, New Glarus, a couple of other towns out there. This county should definitely flip in 2020. Trump will make a push for it. I think he'll hold a rally over in Janesville or 2 or something. Get the voters from these counties to go there and definitely flip this county would be huge. Again, you see Portage County, that probably could flip as well. Again, I believe Evers won that though, so I mean, don't hold your breath on that as well. Also, these 3 counties up here, these are always a lot of retirees from the Chicagoland area mixed in with some Native Americans help push these counties into the blue column, but it's going to be interesting. If they elect a California insider like Kamala Harris, these counties could flip too, so definitely, or at least the margins could get closer, so keep watching for that as well. Rock County for sure could get closer. This is a county you would think Trump would win, but a lot of loyalists in these places, especially in Dane County. A lot of farm area in Dane County outside of the Madison area, but Trump only won 2 precincts in the whole county, and they were up by DeForest. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works out. Definitely raise up the margins in these counties. You definitely need to make the red counties redder. Maybe get closer to flip some of these other counties. Maybe the suburbs could trend in the opposite direction. That could hurt, but I really think in a state like Wisconsin, the suburbs are going to trend back in his column. It's definitely a blue-collar state. I definitely think Trump has a shot to win. I think he's going to win Wisconsin. There's plenty of reasons for that, especially if he probably could have won it if he was on the ballot in 2018. On the ballot in 2020, I think he's going to hold Wisconsin. That put him at 306, and if I talk about the 260 firewall that he can't get below, if he gets Wisconsin, he'll already be president. So based off of that alone, it's going to be hard for Donald Trump to lose in 2020, but that's basically my take on this. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please like this video, subscribe. Let's get me to 6,000 and hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media and donate to the Patreon, links in description. And before you go, be sure to click on the screen for one of my other recent videos you may have missed. And thanks again for watching, guys. Red Eagle, out.